What's going on, you guys? Happy Monday. This is Glenn, and welcome back to my voiceover vlog. I hope that everybody's keeping cool out there. I know summer's been lingering a little bit here in West Michigan. Just still a little bit more humid than I would like to see it. Um, Actually, last night I ended up sleeping on the floor in my office because that's the only room in the house where we had an air conditioning window unit. So I slept on the floor in a sleeping bag. Actually got one of the better night's sleeps I've had in a while, so I'll take it. Anyway, moving on. So lately, as my Twitter account has started to grow and I've started to gain more followers and whatnot, I've gotten a number of people who've been sending me direct messages, folks looking to break into voiceover, asking me for advice. And usually they'll ask stuff like, hey, could you give me some feedback on my demos? Or what are some good sources of work to look for when I'm just starting off? And about a week ago, I had somebody ask me, on top of those other questions, so who are your voiceover idols? Like, who are the voice actors in the industry that you really looked up to and, would want to emanate and would love to meet someday? And I was actually a bit taken aback by this question because, at least right off the bat, I didn't really have an answer. I mean, certainly there are voice actors I know about out there, like, the Nolan Norths, the Troy Bakers, the James Donald Taylors of the world, guys who are just ubiquitous and everywhere doing all the cool stuff with cartoons and video games. But I couldn't think of anybody who I would have been, like, super geeked out to meet in person. And I thought that was a bit unusual. Like many of my voiceover friends, they've got people that, they just love in the voiceover industry, either in like their favorite manga or their favorite cartoon or their favorite video game. And I didn't really have any of my own. And I didn't really think about the fact that I didn't have any of my own until I was asked this question. So then I started thinking to myself, okay, if not voice actors, then who do I look up to really then? And really, when I thought about it, most of the people who I draw lessons and inspirations from, a lot of those guys aren't even in the voiceover industry themselves. There's a gentleman, Bill DeWeese is probably the only big guy in the voiceover industry who I really look up to and would love to meet someday. Besides him, most of the folks that I quote-unquote idolize or folks that I look up to are just folks out there who are, hard workers, thinking for themselves, going against the grain, taking risks, and pretty much sort of doing their own thing in life. Plenty of those folks aren't even folks who would be, recognized as public figures, but like people I might even know personally, or folks from just really small kind of fringe YouTube channels. Like some people who come to mind is my martial arts instructor, Craig, has been a tremendous mentor for me in the last 5 years that I've been studying with him. I do have a couple other voiceover friends. I've got my friend Dave Soltura, who helped me record my character demo, and another friend, Anthony Gettig, who was a gentleman who held a workshop early on in my voiceover career and helped me get started with things. And really, they're just, decent, thoughtful folks who are unique in their industries and have shown a lot of character. Another thing upon thinking about this more, I think one of the reasons why I don't necessarily idolize the big voice actors is because I didn't necessarily want to get to where they are or become like one of them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love voiceover and I love voice acting, and I would absolutely, love to work on some AAA games or some big cartoons someday, but that wasn't necessarily like the big goal that I wanted to work for. Which brought up another question for me. What is the big goal I'm working for? Why do I want to do all this? And as of right now, I'm still trying to come up with a really good specific answer to that question. Like obviously as a Christian, I want to do, right by the Lord and, do work that, helps share the gospel and bring about his kingdom. And I love the idea of, just having a job, doing stuff that I love, stuff that I'm passionate about, and, becoming financially free. But beyond that, I couldn't really think of a more specific ultimate goal. And I think that's something that I'm still working on trying to figure out at this time. So, fortunately, I'm still young, and I've been enjoying the journey so much that hopefully this is something I can just, continue to figure out as I go along. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, maybe leave a comment in the comment sections. Helps out the channel a lot. And besides that, take care and God bless.